Hi, everybody. Welcome to Nerds on the Couch. I'm Renee, and I'm here with the nerds and David.
On the
I'm
road again.
Ford around the road today.
On the road again.
On the
All
road.
right.
Now,
That's
ladies
a
and
roving
gentlemen,
nerd. He's our helicopter pilot thing, you know.
Let's
Oh,
go,
fire
David.
team's
What's
in
the
the
scene?
square, David.
David is running away from Godzilla right now.
Well, the
Okay.
scene right now is I'm about to get smashed.
well, it's thank you for joining us. We're Nerds on the Couch, and it's Thursday, May 8th, and we're getting ready for the weekend. But big news that happened last week, of course, the Amazing Spider-Man 2 came out, and I guess we all saw it. and
I just
uh,
that's where I'm coming back from.
and thank you for really being a team player and seeing it, so then you could come to us. But I gotta say, guys, I had mixed reactions with this film.
Well, break it down, dude. What was it good? What was it bad? That's what I'm gonna do.
Well, I gotta say that this is one movie that it had good parts. It had some really, really good parts, but then it also had some really bad parts. And because you have to look at the movie as a whole instead of the parts, it just wasn't good.
It's
Yeah,
bad.
I can.
It does a common mistake, uh, in my point of view, with Spider-Man, in that it takes forever to get anywhere.
Well, the
It,
movie clocks in at what, two hours and 20 minutes, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
And another thing that I'm going to say, one of the bad parts that I saw from the movie, way too long. I mean, there is some stuff that they could have pulled out of there, that they could have gone ahead and changed. Shortened it a little bit, like the some of the moments of, yeah, we're men and we're going to be bonding kind of thing. They need to go ahead and cut that out.
yeah,
Um,
but uh, it's not that the movie's too long. It's just I would cut those parts out and put some more action with Spider-Man being Spider-Man.
Yeah.
Well, I mean,
I
I gotta agree
know
with him.
there
I
was
gotta
not
agree
enough
with.
action.
It looks like he's crashing, so um,
I thought, I thought
I
I
agree
saw
with
mice
David.
flying over the hood.
Well, I agree with David because now that I'm thinking of how much crime did we actually see Spider-Man stop?
Not
None.
that much.
I mean, what, maybe total of 40 minutes of action. The rest was, oh, I'm going off to England. I'm not sure. Should I stay? Should I go? And let's throw rocks into the Hudson Bay.
Well, I gotta tell you though, I mean, the one thing when I was watching it, and I guess he's being haunted by Gwen Stacy's father, and he sees him there. I was kind of like, isn't that like a mental disorder?
Yeah, that is actually.
One that usually lands yourself into the insane with the Joker and the rest. But
Yeah,
then
Well,
again,
yeah.
you
Tom has a few extra cells.
like a lot
Well, I
of the
mean,
bad.
let's look at a couple of things. In the beginning, yeah, you had the Spider-Man. It started action, and I saw Paul Giamatti, and I'm kind of like, oh, cool. We're gonna see Paul Giamatti doing his thing. He's a great actor. I love Paul Giamatti. And then that's it. Nothing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Total
And then
screen time, about less than 10 minutes, I would say.
and then where do we go from there?
I think the biggest problem with the movie, just for me, I mean, the pacing was good. I really wasn't bored through out of it. It went pretty quickly for me. But what bothered me is they seem to have kept the wrong things and cut out the other things. You know what I mean? Rhino is one a good example. They cut a lot out of him. You know what I mean? And they rushed the end. The end was rushed. It was horribly rushed.
hmm Actually, it was really, really strange after a while. You're like, well, I was thinking back to the trailer. Number one, I was remembering those scenes like, oh, they've been following you. Why? Why have they been following you? And that's gone. And then you got some other scenes that happen. And you're like wondering, well, when is this going to come out? When is this epic battle going to come up? And it
And
doesn't until the direct
where the
end.
father goes ahead and says, some people don't be ending. Whatever happened with that?
Well,
Doesn't
I
David Tennant sound like a Cyberman? He does to me.
yeah, man. Oh, that could be it. He's being processed. But one thing I got to point out, I mean, I was like, could you cram any more Spider-Man references and cameos in this?
Oh.
I mean, we saw. Oh, what's her name? Felicia. Okay,
Felicia,
Black Cat.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then you catch the computer database. You see Venom. You see Craven. You see Doctor Morbius, and the even I get there's even copy scenes from the comic book. Peter Parker, Gwen Stacy are dressed like comic book versions,
Yep.
and I was like, wow. But sometimes it just gets crazy.
Well, they're trying to go ahead and do it like Marvel does. We're gonna get that soon, huh?
Yeah, they're dropping hints, and basically they're trying to whet the appetite with too much salt, too much seasoning in this. There's too many little drops of stuff.
Really, I didn't have a problem with any of that. I also like the fact that they showed Smite. You know who Smite's gonna become.
Yeah.
You know?
Oh, that's
Oh,
another.
yeah.
But I'm kind of thinking is like, are all the bad guys coming in from Oscorp? Because that corporation kind of needs to go down, I guess, man.
Well, yeah, I know it's a corporation that goes in and looks at the resume, is like, oh, has tendencies towards villainy. You'd be perfect here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Beware the janitor,
Only the only one
Janitor
that
was this.
area.
Beware if you're told to go to the special unit.
Oh,
Yeah, you know what? I think anytime you get into an elevator and they have like several sub basements, you know something's wrong. Oh, where are we going? The sub basement. Oh, great!
Sub basement A, B, C, all the way up to Z. It's like, well, how many basements does this place have?
and I keep thinking, I love some. I gotta admit, I want to correct it. I love some of the references. Like, I love the beginning where you see Norman Osborn, and he's got lizard hands.
Yeah.
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 I like that. Because that kind of like, oh, he tried to use the lizard. And you saw the mysterious shadow guy from the first movie
Yeah.
in this one. And I kept thinking, okay, so now let's bring it up, let's do that. And then right where they lost me was Jamie Foxx.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because
Oh.
how do you see that guy first? You see a dork walk in with a whole bunch of blueprints. And I'm thinking, oh, geez, are you going to spill them? And then, okay, weirdness going to... He looked like that nerd from Robot Chicken. I mean, like, oh.
Oh God! Oh yes, he does. Oh man! Well, we
It
know
was...
he was
Go ahead,
painted
lick,
black.
and then he goes ahead and slicks down his hair. My
No.
God.
Yeah, it's going back to the guy from Robot Chicken. Come on, you can ride me, sir. Ride me so you can escape. Eh?
Yeah, but you know what? In context, it's kind of... You have to think of the whole picture, okay? It's kind of offensive, you think about it. The guy's really intelligent, so let's make him as awkward and dorky as possible. Which is the same thing they're doing in the Ninja Turtles, too. Oh, Donatello, let's make him as dorky and as awkward as possible, you know? Ugh.
But the thing was with me is that I could not believe this guy was real at all. This, to me, is an example of a complete, flat, two-dimensional character. It
Yeah.
was just too stereotypical. I could not find any humanity in this guy.
Yeah, and and one of the things is that you got the fact that at first it feels like they wanted you to feel sorry for him, feels really sorry for him and everything, but you know what? I couldn't feel sorry for him. I just got creeped out.
So, out the next time you see him. Oh, Spider-Man, how are you doing? You knew it was my birthday? You baked me a cake. Oh, my God, that was...
That was frightening.
Yeah,
that was really
I was like
frightening.
this the whole time. I was just, oh.
I mean,
Yeah.
Jamie Foxx doing Cable Guy. Oh, it's scary.
Oh, that's it. Yeah, that's exactly what it was. Ugh.
Oh.
Although, as much as...
I was just gonna say it was a waste of Jamie Foxx's talents. I mean, they made him as pathetic as they could, dorky. Even when he transformed into the villain, he was still a dork, pathetic. I'm like, please.
And like you said, I mean, it did feel like Frankenstein. Oh, you friend, you friendly to me. We do this.
You know what? I was gonna argue about it to one point, but I just changed my mind and argued to another point. I was gonna say I'm kind of glad that they didn't mix the villain in this one. That they didn't mix them with, they didn't combine two villains. But actually, if you really sit down and think about it, they did something worse. They took a villain like Electro, he's got an interesting kind of background. He's a thief. You know what I mean? And he got his whole powers in some way, and they just basically combined him with a nerd and said, okay, this is Electro, so never mind. They did do another mistake. They combined it with something else.
It's not
Well,
it's not as bad as what the Mandarin was. It's not that kind of slap in your face.
But the reason it'll not be that bad is Electro's not a very well-known character.
no,
Yeah.
but I kind of agree. I kind of do see Electro as kind of a slap in the face because the character was so stereotypical,
Yeah, he was.
and he had such potential. I mean, you said, yeah, he's not well known, but he had such potential to be a really awesome villain
Well,
for somebody we've never seen ever
villain
on the
for
screen.
maybe 10 minutes. Once they go ahead and Osborn frees him out, then he becomes really somewhat badass. But until then, he was just bland. And did they have to stick that stereotypical German doctor going ahead
Oh yeah.
Oh, that guy! I was going to mention him because at first I thought it was Doctor Octopus, right?
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
And then turned
It
out
might be. You don't know.
and of Zola?
no, man. I was like, at first I thought, is that Doctor Octopus? And then no, and then I was like, is that the mad scientist from the Human Centipede?
I just took him as a carbon copy of Emile Zola.
I know. And
Yeah.
again, how stereotypical is that? German accent psychiatrist slash mad scientist.
Yeah, you know what? You're right, and you know what? I had a feeling, and I had this deep down feeling as I was watching that whole scene, and now I understand what it was. I was expecting him to say, "Why doesn't it read? Why won't it read?"
No, dude, I kept thinking it like I was having Doctor Strange look.
Yeah, that.
I was having Doctor Strangelove moments there, man. I was like, wow. He's summoning the ghost of Peter Sellers at that point.
I actually was going ahead and thinking of if he was going ahead and drilling into his mouth, I was expecting him to say, "What is the safe word?"
Ladies and gentlemen, there is a lot of German mad scientists, apparently.
Yeah, I think that's part of the application.
You know,
Although, you know what? I mean, the good thing is, though, I like this Peter Parker. I like him a lot more than Tobey Maguire. This Peter Parker's fun,
with
That
that,
was a good point for me in the movie.
Well, that was some of the best scenes to me. I mean, I liked his personality. I did love when he was experimenting with the webbing.
I like the fact that they actually showed him experimenting with webbing, and not like the other Spider-Man. You know, he was actually he's showing some of his ingenuity. The fact that he is smart and he does know how to go ahead and apply things.
Yeah, but again, I was getting tired. I don't know about you guys, but were you guys getting tired of the Gwen Stacy thing?
Yes.
could have cut it out.
I mean, they were like going back and forth. I miss her. I'm together. I'm guilty. I'm moving to
be
England.
honest,
We're gonna be just friends.
No, they should have kept it okay, romance. She's my girlfriend, and then the very end, it happens the way it is. It was. Here's what I was feeling as I was going through the whole thing. Too much stuff, too many threads going on at the same time, and it felt like too big of a labyrinth. and it was just losing my interest. I was not interested in going ahead and getting to the end. I was just
I,
saying, oh,
you know,
get
I
on with
actually enjoyed the interaction between him and Gwen a lot more than I enjoyed the interaction between Peter Parker and Mary Jane in the first movie. You know, that was tedious to me. You know,
Well, I think
oh, they're
everybody
together,
agrees.
we're in high school, oh, we're here,
Yeah.
oh, I'm evil, Spider-Man. That bothered me. You know,
Well, I
the
think
one good
everybody
thing I
agrees.
have to say
They
is
had good
Gwen
chemistry.
Stacy. Gwen Stacy wasn't singing in Broadway, okay? That was great, okay?
Well, I was gonna say, I think everybody agrees that they had good chemistry, and I'm gonna miss Emma Stone. But same thing going on relationships. I totally didn't buy the Harry Osborn Peter Parker thing.
Yeah, it was a little bit forced. I mean, 10 years, or he hadn't seen him for like 10 years or something, and then all of a sudden, hey, I want to
they,
rekindle our friendship. You know what? I would
Yeah,
have asked for a card.
no, you know, it's not even just force. It just comes out of nowhere. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
They never have a point where they establish. If they had shown a flashback scene or something, then it just comes out of the blue, It's not even forced. It's just like, oh, suddenly, what? They like skip so many steps and, oh, hey, how's it going?
okay.
And I find it funny that, again, I talk about cosmic coincidences
And
and
I was
all that.
about cosmic coincidences when I was watching the movie. I was going, Renee's going to mention cosmic coincidences.
Yeah. Because, come on, fellas. I mean, okay, Norman Osborn, who you look at him, he has to be like in his 50s. Maybe the illness aged him, but we could say he's in his 40s. I know the actor's in his 50s,
Yeah.
and he's dying. And all of a sudden, you see the son and that interaction, which I thought was good. And then, again, I mentioned the lizard hands and all that. And then all of a sudden, at that young age, the kid is dying.
Yeah.
With the ugly scar thing and his hand shaking,
Yeah.
and I'm like, really? It's supposed to be genetic, and this should have been kicking in like when he's in his 50s, but
It's happening a little bit too early.
and
Well,
at the right time apparently.
I
Well,
would
maybe
have
they
thought
went ahead and stuck him with something.
I would have thought your cosmic coincidence would have been that coincidence where he just happens to drop that thing in the desk and it opens everything.
Oh yeah.
That was the
Well,
giant
yeah,
cosmic coincidence.
that is one, but and then same thing is like, oh, by the way, you're fired. you know. And same thing, Peter Parker trying to talk to him and Spider-Man talking to him. I would have gone like, I know you want my blood, but I'm a robot. Take my word for it. Zip.
Yeah. That would have been it right there. Everything done.
uh, and then, same thing. I mentioned this to you guys earlier. Green Goblin was just so terrible.
Oh God.
You know what? I have to give credit to the first Spider-Man movie because they made their villains a lot better than this one. Green
Yeah.
Goblin in that movie was great. Doctor Octopus was great. Sandman was okay.
I mean, you don't recognize Green Goblin. You're like,
I
what
th-
in the world is this? Godzilla on a flying disc?
well, I said Beavis, man, because he looked like Beavis.
Yeah, fire. Yeah. Oh yeah. Oh, God,
I
my
mean,
name is Cornelio. Oh.
He acted that way too, man.
Yeah, he did.
It looked more to me like this homeless guy found all this tech and put it on. Oh, look, a glider! Ooh, armor!
Well, and just because, he said no to me, I'm going to get revenge on Spider-Man. Really, dude?
and all of a sudden he knows Spider-Man is Peter Parker.
Yeah, he makes a connection.
Well, yeah, he makes which to me would have been like, really? That's just because you see Gwen Stacy there? You're Peter Parker?
Yeah,
that definitely is a cosmic coincidence.
There's another thing that bothers me about that, and we're dangerously close to spoilers, but, how does he know who she is? You know what I mean? There's never a scene where he sees her. There's never a scene where he sees pictures. They might have been on the whatever they didn't cut out, because that comes out of nowhere. How does he know who she is?
Remember they
No,
had that elevator interaction?
They met in the elevator.
No, no, no. I'm talking about Harry and Gwen Stacy, not Electro.
yeah, how does he know that that's Gwen Stacy when he
No,
just
no,
gets
no,
into the
no,
track?
no. Harry met Gwen Stacy when she was running away from the other guys.
No, but he's saying, how did he know at that scene in the elevator that was Gwen Stacy? Did they
Well, no,
introduce
how,
themselves?
no. Harry, basically, well, basically, Peter Parker says that she works for the company, and it's
Yeah,
easy to just go ahead and look up the files. Oh, there she is.
Yeah, but I shouldn't have to work for that, man.
yeah, you actually have to like type in Gwen Stacy under search and then actually take a look. And you know what? There's nothing referencing that,
Hmm.
and it
But
just felt kind of.
action, he knows who she is. My God, if that was the biggest plot hole in all of these movies, especially this movie, then I mean, that would be the littlest of things. My God, the very beginning scenes, to go ahead and take all of that trouble to just download a farewell video to your son.
Well, this was the 90s, dude. Don't you remember?
Oh my God. No, no, no. I mean, all the fighting, and oh, make sure he goes ahead and gets downloaded. Make sure, Roosevelt. And I mean, we're thinking it's big information and stuff like that. No, it's the goodbye video to his son.
No,
I
Anybody
didn't
else was
mind that.
surprised that those 1990 computers actually lasted that long?
That didn't bother me at all. I thought that was cool. I mean, what didn't impress you? Okay, he's got a secret subway lab, dude, that comes out of nowhere with coins. That was all cool. That
Yeah.
you don't care about. It's just the fact that he downloaded a message. Oh, that's
Well-
the worst part of it.
Well, that I kept thinking of.
It was
When
a
did
good
you put
MacGuffin.
that in?
Wild, but when you find out what the MacGuffin was really about, then you're going, really? All of that stuff, the guy trying to stop him from sending the transmission, you'd think it was like, important facts and information. No, it's a video.
Well, at that point, when I saw he was going underground and that subway, I told my wife, if I see the Ninja Turtles, I'm walking out. Because to me, it looked like where they shot the second Ninja Turtles movie.
Secret of the Ooze, yeah.
Yeah, and I kept thinking, okay, I mean, that's a real elaborate secret hideout there for a scientist to set up, and nobody else knew about it. I mean, how'd they do that?
Well,
Oh, they-
it just feels kind of weird. I mean, it sounded like Parker was a really, really, really smart guy who got it all built without anyone finding out. And, of course, Oscorp didn't find out at all.
Yeah,
Yeah,
he had to have been embezzling from Oscorp to be able to go ahead and afford to put all that together.
I never got the impression they were rich.
Yeah, that's right. I mean, they were riding in a private jet.
Yeah, same thing. Private jet and some really advanced laptop for, again, what that had to be like, what, 1990?
Yeah, and
yeah,
it was a Sony Vaio.
it didn't fit the laptop for the period.
Doesn't-
And again, wrapping it up, because I think we bashed this up pretty good. As teachers, we rate movies and we give you quick pros and cons, and we give this movie a grade. I'm going to start with you, Chino. Can you start with your grade?
I gave it a B. Honestly, what really helped me in the movie was Peter Parker. I like the actor. He did a good job. The interaction between him and Gwen, like I said, it was okay. I didn't mind it as much as I did with Tobey Maguire and Kristen, what's her name? That
Kristen
was
Dunst.
tedious to me. Her, yeah. Kristen Dunst. That was really tedious to me. And it just got more tedious. You know what I mean? Here, first one, interaction between Gwen and the first movie, Gwen and Peter was cool. This one, it was okay. I agree with you that maybe it went a little bit long, but that was okay. And, I can't think about this movie without comparing it to the other one. The Harry Osborn in the first one was a lot better than this Harry Osborn. You know what I mean? Just it didn't work for me. The actor, I don't know, that didn't work for me. But it's B. I mean, his performance did with me. The story paced really well. It moved quickly for me. Um, Downsides is they could have done a lot more with Electro. I hate the fact that they rushed it at the end. You know what I mean? You were expecting this whole like Rhino thing to be a lot more impressive, and it wasn't. They just you know, they they just kind of threw him in there the same way they kind of threw Venom in the third one.
All
So
right.
B, for me it's a B.
All right. Orly?
All right. Well, I did enjoy the movie for what it was worth. I mean, if you're a kid and you're gonna watch this movie, you're gonna like it. I mean, there's certain parts, and of course, no, the kids aren't gonna like the kind of like romantic parts and everything, and there was a little bit too much bounce and back and forth on that. Oh, I love you, but I don't want to stay with you. This, and that. I have to protect you, but I'm still going to follow you, kind of thing. And quite frankly, it felt like we made Spider-Man into a number one stalker. Um, so that's what kind of was like. Okay, I'm like I don't know about that. I'm getting kind of and when she finds out, she's like, oh, that's so nice. And I'm like, I don't know any girls that would actually say that. Um, and so other than that, there was a couple of good things. The CGI was good. It didn't make me sick, although some people thought the beginning would. And I did enjoy the movie, so I have to give it an 81.5.
All right. Kelly?
Well, I'm gonna give it a C minus. I mean, it's billed as an action film, and I felt the action was too little, and when they did have it, it was rush. I didn't want to go see Spider-Man in Twilight. I'm sorry, but the love story, they could have cut it down quite a bit. Up the antes on the electrode, because here's a villain that a lot of people did not know about. He's never been on the big screen. I mean, you have a great actor with Jamie Foxx. They turned him into a dork. Made I actually felt sorry for this villain because here he is supposed to be the major villain of the movie, and he they pretty much ripped him off. But I saw it all in 3D. I don't recommend it in 3D. It's not worth it at all. So it's a C minus.
We heard that you paid a lot of money to go ahead and see it in IMAX 3D, didn't you?
Well, being in the East Coast, Jersey prices are extremely high. It's even higher in New York. You don't want to know because most of you would be sick.
All right,
And
David?
Well,
I'll leave it at that.
yeah. This movie is still very fresh in my mind, and my view is I got a feeling that I got from Dark Knight Rising. Not that I'm saying that this is Dark Knight Rising bad.
Oh.
What I'm saying is this. Dark Knight Rising was Batman without Batman. This has been Spider-Man without Spider-Man.
Mm-hmm.
There were not battles with Spider-Man going ahead and really doing battles. You go ahead and see him at times going ahead and flipping through the sky and all that. But when it comes to two major the major battles, I can only count three.
No.
The first one at the very beginning, well, maybe four, because the last one can be considered to be split up into three parts. But the thing is this. First, you have them against, typical just dumb bad men, which were Russian mafia guys. Second was Electro, first first time around, which there wasn't as much stuff in that. Third was against Electro the second time, which is also against the Green Goblin and also against, I consider, Rhino in the same fight. That's all. That's it. The rest was whining about, oh, should I break up with, Gwen, or should I not? Then she breaks up with him, which is what he wanted, and then he goes ahead and spends most of the movie going ahead and stalking her. And you really do get Spider-Man, a stalking Spider-Man. Ooh, I mean, this is a bit creepy.
Stalker.
All right,
Amazing
David.
Soccer Man.
But
So wrapping it up, what's your grade?
my grade is C. Not enough action. Not enough Spidey action. And for 2.5 hours, I would have expected more.
Well, I'm going to make mine really short, okay, because for one, I cringed a lot of parts. I was having 90s flashbacks. Sometimes I thought, am I watching a 90s superhero movie? I kept thinking, because Jamie Foxx was so two-dimensional. Paul Giamatti was wasted, and I love that actor. He's one of my favorite actors, and he was completely wasted in that movie. His best line was,
Ah, let's see what you got. Ah!
that was his best line in that movie. And overall, there was too much Twilight. Action was completely lacking. I know tons of stuff was cut out because of the trailers. I'm giving this movie a D. I mean, I was expecting a lot more. I'm coming off Captain America 2. You really have to impress me, especially when it comes to Spider-Man. That's kind of like the Marvel corporate. I guess he kind of still is the corporate Marvel symbol and all that. And you mishandle him? No, you fell short. You fell short, and the only best things in that movie was the two actors, Emma Stone, and who was the actor who played Spider-Man?
I don't remember his name. I do know that he breaks
Andrew Garfield?
Yeah, Andrew Garfield. You're right.
As long as you don't call him, let's see, the other one.
Yeah. And everybody else sucked. And, Gino, I like to get a quote from him saying, a movie's only as good as the villain. And because the two villains in this movie sucked, the movie fell short.
Yeah, that's actually David's quote.
Oh, sorry. I give credit to you, David. But, yeah, it fell short. You got to, it's worth seeing. You're not going to be bored. Gino's right on that, but there's just better movies out there. So we got to move on a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Again, going on with what's been happening this past week, I think now we're going to have Star Wars watch. I think that's going to have to be a regular segment.
Somebody 24/7 going ahead and, keeping track of Star Wars.
Well, they are giving us such good news. I mean, earlier in the week, we got that cool photo from the producer of Star Wars with a certain character in the background.
Mm-hmm.
And they confirmed, ladies and gentlemen, that was Peter Mayhew back in the Chewbacca costume.
Yep. My God.
How awesome is that?
I was afraid that he wasn't going to make it for the movie. I was afraid that he was going to have some more health issues. But it looks like, my fears were not warranted.
Were they going to torment him again by putting CPO on his back again?
Oh.
Yeah.
He described how that was like a living hell for him. He couldn't see anything. It was terrible.
Well, as we know, I guess we can say, yeah, he's a personal friend to us. We've met him. We talked to him. And, I was just kind of like, I'm so happy to see him back in that Chewbacca costume. However, how old is he again? He's like 68, isn't he?
I think that he's in his late 50s or 60s. I'm not sure. But I'm sure you can.
Yeah, we can look it up, or again, a viewer can tell us. But It's kind of nice because he hasn't aged. Apparently, Wookiees don't age.
Oh, of course not.
Oh no, they don't. I mean, they last forever. Especially if you put them in the refrigerator.
Yeah, my trippiest thing with Peter Mayhew, he was at a convention a couple, maybe 3, 4 years back, and he wasn't in good health. He was limping. Okay, so the guy's limping through our convention, and he was still taller than everybody there.
Well, we got to see him this last year.
He's 69 years old.
Yeah, so wow.
He was just about to have the knee surgery.
Yeah, and latest reports, he said it himself, and they showed pictures. He's not on the walker anymore. He looks great.
Not even
He
a
really-
game.
Yeah, so I can imagine, we're seeing Chewbacca again, and I'm excited about that. A couple of other things. Supposedly, the title is going to be Star Wars Episode 7, The Ancient Evil.
Well, as long as it's not Blue Harvest.
Or It's a Trap.
It's a trap. Yeah. And these titles can change. I mean, they can change at any time. I mean, something else could come out.
As long as it's not Star Wars Jar Jar, I'm okay. I'm happy.
Oh,
Oh, no.
the ancient evil. They come to Alamogordo and dig him up.
Oh, we're starting with that again.
Oh, sorry, can't help it.
But
Well, he did come out in the movie. He did come out in what was it, the first one, didn't he? The New Hope? The alien species that he's mentioning.
talking E.T.
Is he? Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that's right.
Was that one in the first one or the second one?
I can't remember. I know he was at the council. Might have been the second one.
It was during the Council of the Senate.
Yeah, and that was it.
Yeah, it was the first one because they were talking about the invasion from the trade guild.
We had a really great thing on our page how E.T. was a Jedi. That was great.
Yeah.
Well, he kind of had to be. I mean, come on. And, well, the current rumor supposedly is that, we know Vax von Sydow, or Sydow? He's in the movie that he's the bad guy.
Ah.
And he's going to he's the voice. He's going to be the voice of a Sith.
Ooh.
Which would work. I mean, he does have that voice.
This is true.
Christopher Lee back, so they have his sort of somewhat cousin. With that, I mean, they're very similar, the two of them.
Well, also, and keeping up with the Star Wars thing, because May the 4th was this weekend. The first trailer, the official trailer for Star Wars Rebels got released this week.
Yep.
And I got to say, it looks good.
Yeah, I do like it. I like the fact that they're bringing out Jedi again. The Jedi Order wasn't completely destroyed. There are still Jedi out there, probably in smaller pockets.
The Luke, huh?
Oh no, this was
No.
some guy. This was some new guy. I mean, this is like the undercover Jedi from the Clone Wars episodes.
Yeah, they had a video clip, and he's being voiced by Freddie Prinze Jr.
Mm-hmm.
And he said that the character, apparently, he was a young Padawan who went on the run when Order 66 happened.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
And so he's
Well, how
kinda-
else are you going to survive, man?
Yeah, and he's been underground and all that, and he hasn't used a lightsaber since apparently that moment. So it's interesting to know. I mean, it's good to know that there's Jedis out there. And when I saw the clip, I was kind of happy to see stormtroopers again.
Actual stormtroopers. I mean, I saw them and I'm like, oh yeah, those are the kind of stormtroopers I remember.
Were any of them too short?
Not yet. The CGI artist didn't put that in there.
Oh, but it leaves hope. They haven't said anything, but Darth Vader is in there. So I'm kind of curious. Yeah.
Well, I'm kind of curious to see what they're gonna do with the Darth Vader character. If they what, Darth Vader did do things, and that he hated slavery, so he probably obliterated it.
Well, I know since last week they talked about how they're not using the Star Wars novels and all that as canons, but
Yeah.
there's books like that, how they made Darth Vader look like a champion and all that by abolishing slavery, and he held he force choked the Huts to stop slavery trade and all that. So who knows what the reaction, what the universe is. So I am curious to see what's going on in this series, and it's from the same people who did the Clone Wars.
Mhm.
And as much as people don't really talk about the Clone Wars that much, it was a good series, and it did have good writers.
Yeah.
Intro again?
Sorry, what?
Are they bringing Tom Kane back to go ahead and do the intro voiceover?
I don't know about that, but I know he's in the cast, so he might be doing a different character.
Yeah, because you know what? He has such a varied voice. He can do all sorts of characters. And then also you got some probably maybe some other older characters might make a few cameos.
Ahsoka.
Ahsoka
Ahsoka.
could very much be well in there. Admiral Yularen, which was the character he played, was still very much alive. Remember, he was in the episode 4. He was
And-
one of the
Boba Fett,
guys on the. Yeah.
Yep.
Boba Fett's gonna be older at this point. He's not
Yeah.
gonna be
he
a
has to
kid
be.
anymore.
You're right. He has to be like in his 20s by now and all that.
I didn't remember if he followed the orders or not.
Which orders?
To kill all Jedi.
You remember that Boba Fett was a pure clone, unmodified.
Yeah.
So
he
that
wasn't-
wouldn't be a factor. That would not be a factor at
Yeah.
all.
He had no. I mean, he had his own free will. He had no chips in his head or.
Yeah, but I'm not talking about Boba Fett. I'm talking about Rex.
Rex?
The Captain Rex. The fate of Captain Rex, we don't know. He wasn't in
He wasn't
episode
in-
3.
We don't know.
Yeah, we don't know what happened to him.
He's
Yeah, I know.
a rogue clone.
Well, we all would hope, but we don't know. We don't know what happened to them.
Well, yeah, well, look at Cody, dude. We know Cody shot Obi-Wan,
Yeah.
or shot at Obi-Wan. So Order 66.
Yeah.
All right. Then moving on, ladies and gentlemen, we talk about movies and all that. Announcement came today from Saban and Lionsgate. They announced that they are rebooting the Mighty Morphin Power Rangers into a movie.
Oh no! Don't let me Michael Bay in charge.
That's what I
everybody mentioned. Yeah, everybody says Michael Bay in this.
I don't know. They haven't announced who's the executive producer.
Well, as long as Michael Bay is not in there, this still has hope. I mean, you know, that's you got to go ahead and keep an eye on it.
First movie, and it's still a hoot. The guy that plays Ivan Ooze, I think was his name.
Yeah.
I mean, I look at it, and any scene with him in it was great. But all the rest, for me, I mean, overacting, it. Then again, I've never been one that loved the Power Rangers, so I'm sort of,
A
biased.
Philistine?
Well, here's the thing I was going to ask you guys. They said, or they kind of alluded to, that they're going to take this to a different angle. They're not going to do the kids show. This is going to be a movie franchise. And it's going to be an upgraded. That's what they said. It's an upgraded, and they made sure to say Mighty Morphin Power Rangers, which is the first incarnation that we had here in the U.S.
Yeah.
So, do you think they're going to go the way of, let me see, the live-action Gotcha Man from Japan?
I haven't seen that yet.
Yeah, I haven't.
I haven't seen it either, but it doesn't look anywhere near kid show type. It looks very serious, just like Star Blazers. Remember when the Star Blazers?
Yeah.
That's right. That's what I was gonna mention. If they did this like Star Blazers, it would be interesting. I like Star Blazers, the movie.
The original Star Blazers, the cartoon show, was not for children at all anyway. You had
Yeah,
the-
this is true.
just got, blew up. That's what attracted me back in 76 when I first saw it.
Woo! I was born in '76, boy.
Well, do you guys see do you guys think there could be potential in this?
I think so, because you have a whole generation that grew up with the Mighty Morphin Power Rangers that are now in their 20s. They want to see them on the big screen. And I think the fans are going to want some of that original magic still there, but bringing it to a new level. They're going to want more of the action, more of the sword play, and everything else that went into it. They're not going to want to see them cutting away and trying to merge the Japanese version with the Americans.
You know
Oh
what
man,
I
just
really
realized
enjoyed?
we can be the Power Rangers.
Oh
It's not
God.
guys in
Yeah,
bed.
true. You know what I really enjoyed though? Do you guys remember the White Ranger versus Scorpion?
Yeah.
Yes.
That was a lot of fun. If they can do the movie kind of with that kind of action, it would work. I would like to see that. You know?
But we all know the number one sign. We have to wait to make sure if Megan Fox gets cast in this movie.
Oh.
Oh.
Here, then we know it's a Bay film.
Oh man, I think I'd rather go in for a colonoscopy.
Well, I'll be happy if they get a known actor. That's what I want to see. That way they can take it to whatever direction they want. It doesn't become about the actors, but about the characters.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I want to see. You know what I want to see? I want to see a Tim Burton Power Rangers just to see what that would look like.
Oh my God.
He
Dude.
hasn't really done well with science fiction.
No, he doesn't. I mean, he's more along the lines of other stuff, man.
Look, that Ranger has scissor hands.
Oh.
Oh well.
Helen Bonham Carter would be in it. Hey, Helen Bonham Carter could be Rita Repulsa. That'd be interesting.
Oh man.
You can do
Oh.
it. Good. I agree.
Oh.
All
Then
right.
Johnny Depp is going to be Zordon. Is that where you're going with this?
Oh. Oh.
We'll wait and see, dude. We'll see what happens.
I know, but
Way
I
off base.
The next news: Johnny Depp. Tim Burton to go ahead and direct Mighty Morphin Power Rangers, and Helen Bonham Carter and Johnny Depp already signed on.
well,
It could be worse. It could be Power Rangers, a film by M. Night Shyamalan.
Oh.
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 Okay.
Automatic death.
We've got it too much on that, but I hope I like the idea. The idea of Power Rangers is good, and if they're gonna, I guess maybe make it a little more adult, a little more action, upgraded, reboot the original storyline and all that, they might pull it off. It's worth it.
Yeah, I gotta give it hope. They have a lot of good source material, so I gotta give you that. It's true.
All right.
Let's go back to what we said about Amazing Spider-Man. It kind of depends on the villain, though. They gotta get a good villain.
Yeah.
Well, come on, Rita Repulsa was cool.
Yeah, but not for an adult contemporary movie. They'll be hitting on her more than fighting her, probably.
Well, hopefully they bring back the putties.
All right. And then when we talk about movie news and all that, to me this was weird, but it's official. It's been confirmed. Matt Smith is going to be a Terminator.
The doctor is coming to kill me.
Yeah.
Oh God.
God.
I want to see a Terminator with a TARDIS. That would be interesting.
Hey.
That would just solve so many problems,
You know what? That would make so much sense. The fact that they have time machines and and everything else. And of
Terminator
course,
versus Cybermen. That would be interesting.
oh,
No, and the
Skynet
thing
takes
is,
over the Cybermen. Oh, see, there's so much you can do with it.
I could imagine the scene where you see the naked Arnold Schwarzenegger, and it'd be the current Arnold Schwarzenegger, and we're all like, ugh. And he pops up, and then Matt Smith goes, you don't have to be naked to time travel, and walks off.
Guys, this is the ultimate trio. Terminators, Cybermen, and Cylons.
no. Yeah, that just murdered my childhood.
That was like an awful. Never mind. I'm not gonna say anything.
Well, I mean, as cool as it sounds, I gotta say, Terminator has not had a good history.
Not
No.
like after Terminator 2.
Yo,
Yeah,
well,
Terminator,
for a
Terminator
a
1 was
series that
good.
completely always contradicts itself.
Well, come on. I mean, Terminator 3 was kind of a convoluted mess, and then Christian Bale came along and made it worse.
By
That
forcing.
was horrible.
The only cool thing about that one was that they brought Arnold Schwarzenegger back with the CGI, but man,
Was it worth it?
no, and I keep thinking, why do they keep doing these things?
To make money.
But they
Well, what
stopped
did you
making
think of the
money.
series? What did you think of the series? Because me and my brother argue about this all the time.
I laugh at the series. I mean, I thought the Robot Chicken version of the Terminator Sarah Chronicles were more accurate.
Yeah.
The teenage boy's like, I have my own female Terminator? And next thing you know, you don't see anything out of the bedroom for like days.
Memory is full.
Leave him.
I mean, come on. Was that okay? You saw the Terminator TV show. Was that canon or what was up with that? Because I just couldn't get into it.
No.
No, I couldn't get into it either.
Yeah.
For the most part, I mean, for me, the first season was okay. I could tolerate it. It was interesting seeing Terminators going into banks and malls and killing everybody. That was kind of what I liked about it. The problem I had was like towards the second season where they introduced Kyle Reese's brother. It just got stupid up to that point.
Wait a minute, Kyle Reese had a brother?
But yeah, see, exactly.
Oh, God. He was an
Wow.
only child.
And then the next series would have his uncle.
Yeah, Uncle Charles. He's wacky Uncle Charles.
Yeah.
You know what? If I was in that show at that point, I'd be like, "Oh, you're Kyle Reese's brother? Yeah. You have a grandfather on? Oh, yeah. He lives 2 blocks down over there. Good."
Stay there.
I'm just going there because I can't stand this anymore.
Ugh.
Okay.
All
Let's,
right.
Well, but what do you guys think? I mean, is it Matt Smith a good thing or a bad thing? I don't know.
I'm curious. I don't have high hopes in this
it's
movie.
gonna bring
No.
a lot of Doctor Who fans in.
Well,
Oh,
it didn't
yeah,
bring
yeah.
it didn't bring any Doctor Who fans for Fright Night.
Yeah.
That was a good movie.
Yeah, but that was before he really got, you know.
That was after the
Dude, that was
his
after
tenure.
Doctor Who. He had his name out there. He had a lot, and point blank, it didn't draw the crowds.
For Matt Smith.
No, for David Tennant.
David Tennant. David Tennant was in the Fright Night remake.
Yeah, I know. And that was before the kids really got into it.
No, I think
No.
I noticed more of the teenagers getting into it only 2 years ago.
I don't know. Kelly, when did you get into it?
But
Doctor Who.
later, I grew up with it. Who? I maybe watched 1 or 2 episodes, and that was about it. I was not a big Who person, unfortunately.
Blasphemy.
Sorry, I was born in Star Trek.
So was
I
I.
was too.
Yeah. No
I was
arguments
the
here.
next generation.
Yeah,
It's a
I
big
grew up on it.
universe. There's so much you can do. It's a big universe.
Well, they have a Doctor Who and Star Trek crossover now.
The comic, yeah, I was.
Yeah,
just,
comic books. All right, moving on. We had a couple of trailers debut. First one is the TV show Gotham,
Hmm.
which is supposed to be. I mean, if you see the trailer actually looks good.
Yeah.
It has. It's supposed to be Gotham before Batman.
Yeah, basically it's going to be psychological profiles of all the Batman's enemies before they became the Rogues Gallery. You know what I mean?
Mayor Cobblepot and all that.
Well, he's not mayor, but he's like what was he?
I just see him getting beat up a lot. That's all I see with the Cobblepot.
I'm reading about his what is it? His great grandfather in the Jonah Hex, the New 52.
I have no idea about that.
Oh no,
But
they up. He's like mayor of Gotham at that time.
well,
Yeah, but that's
Kamala,
the comic book. We're talking about the Gotham, the series, man.
yeah, the
We
TV
really
show
don't
that's
know what he is.
coming. You know he's there,
I don't know what
and
TV series.
well, yeah, they showed the trailer this week,
Yeah, it's
and
airing on Fox this fall.
It is
yes,
okay. Good. I was hoping it wasn't going to be a CW one.
no, that's the Flash, and then
Yeah, I want to see that.
well, who else did we see? We saw Pamela, a young. Her name's not
Catwoman.
even Pamela
Selena
Isley.
Kyle.
We saw Selena Kyle. We saw a girl who's going to be Poison Ivy.
Poison Ivy.
Yeah.
Or the
Poison Ivy.
Joker.
Did we?
I
Yeah.
don't remember the Joker. I remember Scarecrow.
Is this going to be?
Scarecrow.
Are they all going to be like classmates in high school?
No.
No, they're all, well, some of them are adults. Selena Kyle looks like she's a young teenager.
Yeah.
And
So did Poison Ivy.
Bruce Wayne looks like he's a young.
Well, remember, Bruce Wayne was 8 when his parents were killed in front of him.
Yeah, he didn't
And it
look
looks
8
like
in
they're
this.
taking it all the way back to that point.
Yeah, he doesn't look like he's 8 years old in this one.
Yeah, it looks a little bit older.
Yeah, because I think they're kind of having the drama there, and you kind of see Selena Kyle like looking at Wayne Manor.
Basically, Smallville with Batman instead.
I got that gut feeling. I was gonna say that. Did any of you guys get that?
Yeah, definitely.
I think
Hey,
that's
we
where they're
did
heading.
so well with Smallville. Let's just do the same thing with Batman.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Although, you know what? If we look at Batman Year One, the guy really for that animated series, it's James Gordon that's like the star. And in this series, it kind of feels the same way. It looks like that guy's gonna be the star of it. You know?
I agree with you.
We're gonna see the evolution of James Gordon. You know, along with how Batman becomes Batman. You know?
Yeah.
Which might
And-
work because I really did enjoy Batman Year One.
Well, I gotta wait and see. I mean, I gotta say it looks interesting, but I'm kind of thinking, oh man, are they gonna put that? I was gonna say CW drama stuff, and if it's gonna do that, they're gonna lose me. And the question that's coming up is, can you do Gotham without Batman?
That is the question. Can you really do this series without Batman at all?
And I mean, it's gonna be coming out soon. They actually ordered a full season.
Wow.
So I guess, it does have confidence. Same thing with the other thing is that The Flash, before they were going to do like 6 episodes, they officially said that they ordered a full season of The Flash. And another one from Marvel Comics called iZombie. DC Comics. Vertigo.
Vertigo comic, yeah.
iZombie.
It's iZombie, not iVampire.
No,
No.
iZombie.
Vampire series.
Yeah, you're going to love this premise, Gino. Okay, this girl gets bit, or she becomes a zombie, and she gets a job working at a mortician's coroner's office, and to eat the brains. And when she eats the brains, she sees like everything the dead people went through, and she uses that to help a detective and somebody else solve crimes.
Dude, we had this. It's called Pushing Daisies.
It kind of is, isn't it?
It
Yeah,
actually reminds
really.
me more of this other series. Did you guys see the series with Eliza Dushku? It was called True Something, which was kind of the same thing. She worked in a coroner's office. She'd touch a corpse and she'd get memories from it. You know, it's the same premise. I don't give it hope.
Yeah, I think we'll put that under the list of gone.
Yeah.
I can't believe Rain is still around. That kind of surprises me.
Which one?
Rain, that not medieval, but that
The Renaissance kind of
18th
thing.
century Renaissance thing. Yeah, I'm surprised that's still around.
I haven't even seen it at all.
Good,
I don't-
no.
There's a reason why you haven't.
Yeah, you're not missing anything.
All right, another trailer that got released today, in fact, too, is the trailer for Dawn of Planet of the Apes.
Ooh.
That was great.
Yeah, it was.
I gotta say, it looked good.
Yeah,
No,
they're starting to
no.
build their society.
Yeah, I mean, here it's nice because they give you more of the storyline. You see that I guess humanity has collapsed because of the virus from the first movie. The apes have, I don't want to say evolved, but they've grown. They've become villages and human resistance. I guess they're survivors and they're waging war against them, which is like I'm rooting for the apes, man. You know.
Yeah.
Like battle.
Yeah, and again, James Franco is not going to be in this one. You know?
Is Andy Serkis going ahead and reprising his role?
Yes, he's Caesar again. I guess that's his niche now, isn't it? Being like CGI.
CGI characters, definitely, and because he does the motion capture work and everything, so you'd probably used to it. He probably has his own suit.
He sleeps in it. He sleeps in a mocap suit.
Yeah.
Well, either which way, you can catch our trailer on our Facebook page, facebook.com/nerdsoec. And, I got to say, it looks good. If you haven't seen the first one, Orly, have you seen the first one yet?
No, I have not.
It's a good movie.
Really good movie.
I gotta
Yeah.
find it. I know it's here somewhere. I know that you guys got it, and I have it now, and I don't know where it is. I'll find it and watch it eventually.
Uh,
I
wrapping
did.
things up.
I did get to see. Orly's already seen it, but I did get to see Nights at Aston just recently, talking about a film that never really came out in the theaters. It was good, not as good as I expected.
I didn't like it.
I didn't like it either.
No. All right. More on that. We got to wrap things up a little bit, and we're going a little bit over. Kelly, you want to talk a little bit about the San Diego Comic-Con news?
Unfortunately, bad news came out. I know a lot of people wait to see if there's any second chance sales. These are tickets that, for one reason or another, have been returned, either failure to pay, the person decided they're not going and wanted a refund. Normally, San Diego has kept a handful of tickets also to the side for the sale. This year, there is no second chance of going. They announced it today that all tickets have been sold during the first shot. There were no tickets returned. So if you were waiting for that June sale, because this year the sale, I believe, lasted, I think, 35 minutes, which was shorter than last time,
Sheesh.
there's no chance. So it's either win your tickets through any of the different contests that are going on, or see if you can buy a ticket, buy someone's badge at San Diego Comic-Con.
Well, again, you know this because you're there, you've been there and all that. What are the chances, aside from what you said? I mean, really, what can somebody do to get tickets now to go in?
Nowadays, now it's going to be next to impossible unless you're going to a ticket scalper who's going to be at San Diego, because to pick up the badge you need a photo ID. They scan your photo ID, then give you the badge.
Wow.
I know there's people that pay hundreds of dollars for a one-day pass to have someone go in with that ID that they're buying their badge from and wait outside.
Wow. And I'm honestly kind of losing hope I'll ever go.
I mean, there's a lot of things going on outside, but if you want to get in the panels or any of the San Diego exclusives, you need that badge. I know last year when I was just walking across the street, I had someone offer me $600 for my badge.
Wow.
I mean, what's the use if you can't even get into a lot of the panels and stuff?
And this is what I'm very upset at, because a lot of people want to go, and Hollywood gets their first shot. They get a lot of the tickets. They're actually cutting down on members of the press who got the complimentary passes. They cut down on the professionals who got the complimentary passes. Where we're there covering it for other sites, including ours. I will be doing live feeds both on our Facebook page, our Twitter account, and on our website. You have professionals who are going there for workshops that they do offer to try and get into the different companies. And then you have Hollywood coming in that takes over Hall H, where you have people camping out days to get in on the first day. And they'll stay in that hall until they're physically thrown out. They'll bring in food, everything. I'm
And
yet to get in that hall.
And I gotta say this when we talk about conventions and all that. Comic-Con, even though it's the Mecca and all that, it's getting next to impossible to go, but there are thousands of awesome conventions throughout the United States you can
They're
see.
getting better and better every year.
I
Yeah.
mean, Dallas is coming up, and how awesome are those guys doing? They're having a Firefly reunion and a Star Trek The Next Generation reunion.
That is awesome.
I know, I saw that. I was like, damn, I'm in the wrong state.
Yeah. And even then, I mean, the other one I've been hearing a lot from that friend of ours, Wes from Daxy's Boy Toys, checked out was WonderCon in Anaheim. He had a blast being there.
A lot of people prefer going to WonderCon instead of San Diego Comic-Con. It's run by the same group.
Mhm.
But for some reason, WonderCon, it's more for the fans and for the press. You don't have the big Hollywood people coming in.
And
And
then,
I think that's what's getting wrong with San Diego. It's just too big. I mean, last year was in, I believe it was 6 different buildings.
Sheesh.
Yeah.
The new convention that he's been doing this past couple of years has also gone ahead and really taken off as well.
well, I got to give props to our good friend Ian Pullman, who does the Sun City Sci-Fi.
Hits it out of the park.
Yeah, and he announced during May the 4th weekend that Star Wars Days is coming back in October. And I had a chance to talk to him and all that, and he didn't want to say who's coming, or shall I say whose, plural,
Ooh.
plural. So I'm letting you know right now that he is bringing in a couple of big Star Wars people to El Paso for Star Wars Days in October. So that's something to look forward to. And again, Nerds on the Couch will be there to cover the event.
Well, Marina Sirtis has been here already, so who else could we get? I mean, there's a
Well,
lot of
She
people we
was a
can
lot of
cover.
fun. She was a lot of fun.
He
Yeah,
said
she
Star
was.
Wars. He said Star Wars.
Oh, did I say? God, man, I got Star Wars on the brain right now. No, Star Trek.
Yeah. Well, I got to say, Marina Sirtis is great. Ray Park, we met here. He was such a nice guy.
Hmm.
And all the guests were really nice. It was a great convention and all that. So hopefully we got that and keep our fingers crossed for EPCon. Hopefully that'll happen.
Yeah.
War.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got that one, dude. I got one too.
We all got it, remember?
Yeah.
Yeah, I kissed her.
Sweden. I know, yeah.
No. You got to say it right, Renee.
We made out.
She kissed you.
No, we made out.
Okay, there you go.
All right.
I bet you the wife would like
David,
that.
you took Mary Doll out on a date.
That's right.
All right, Kelly, what else? We got some exclusives, right?
Yes, we got another couple of exclusives that have come out. Of course, we have our Star Wars Black Series coming out. Oh, I'm trying to remember the name of the figure.
The Jabba the Hutt.
Yeah, the Hutt.
Yeah, unfortunately, I'm not a big Star Wars girl. I'm learning about it just now.
Oh!
I know.
You're
Sorry, I just
Blasphemy.
worse. Oh my
first
word.
Star Wars figure.
We must kill the unbelievers. Anyway.
Well, first I've got to be able to stay awake through a Star Wars film.
Oh, come
Oh,
on,
come
really?
on. No.
Oh.
Halo.
But we do have that from coming out. We also have from Saturday Night Live. We have the Strange Buddies.
Oh,
I
Come
don't want
on.
to even describe what that toy looks like.
the
It's
ambiguously
the Gary ambiguously gay duo
What,
bobblehead.
Ace and Gary?
Ace
Yeah.
and Gary have a bobblehead, but it's
It's not
that famous flying pose that they do.
it, it, it goes with the flow. That will be first at San Diego Comic Con.
You know the flying.
Yeah, I know. You don't need to describe it. I know. I'm
And they
gonna see
go,
Michael Bay direct that.
it's like,
Guys,
what are you all looking at? Nothing.
by the way,
It's on our Facebook page.
But come on, when I first saw that, I was kind of like, wow, am I back in 1995? Is that when Ace and Gary were really in? I mean, they don't even do anything now in Saturday Night Live, right? I don't even remember seeing.
But
I
it will
don't
be
think so.
Entertainment Earth announced to all its um, people that are on their mailing list yesterday that this is the San Diego Comic Con, their first exclusive. They normally have about 20 to 30 exclusives, and after Comic Con in I believe it's October, it will be available. Any extras will be available for sale. And from Maddie Collector, we got our second of our exclusives, which is from Monster High, which is a 2-pack with Minotaur and Iris.
Now that one I laughed at because basically it's like a studly Minotaur teenager.
Oh,
Yes.
God, really?
If you watch,
It's for little girls, dude.
Yeah, that's
I know.
true.
you want to see how many men are online fighting to get those Monster High dolls.
And they're welcome to them.
Yes. And
these
with
are
Monster High, they don't have many male dolls. I think this is like the third or the fourth
Thank God.
out of the 300 or 400 dolls that they have out.
Well,
But
first of all, I want to point out because the Jabba the Hutt one by Hasbro, it's a huge Jabba the Hutt. I mean, it's the black figures are this big. Okay, they're 7 inches, and Jabba the Hutt's in scale with the 7-inch figures.
did it
So
say
you
it's going to be with the 7? Because there's also a new Black series where it's the 4-inch scale.
I assumed it was the black
I didn't
you get
list which one. And if it's going to be in scale with the 7-inch, I can almost guarantee Hasbro will have a limit of one per person. And Hasbro's been known on their San Diego exclusives to stamp the back of your badge on how many things you purchased.
and when they go online, they don't tell you when they go online, and it's horrible. It's really horrible to buy some of that stuff.
Yeah.
Like the only one I wanted was the Sergeant Slaughter figure, and I completely missed out. Somebody posted on Facebook, "Hey, the Sergeant Slaughter is up for sale." I went, gone.
Yeah.
Sheesh.
The
Yeah.
Hasbro post sales are never announced. It's normally the Monday or Tuesday after, and they are flash sales.
Wow.
And trust me, even just picking up a Hasbro item at San Diego is almost as bad as trying to get into Hall H because you have to go early in the morning to get online to get a ticket in order to stand on another line to buy an item.
Ugh.
Oh, and I gotta tell you, sometimes it's worth just paying the $100 and something for an item because you got to think about the price of the bus ticket or the plane ticket or driving there,
The wait.
the wait, getting the ticket to go to San Diego Comic-Con, waiting in line, like you said, for a couple of hours, and then
forget the
Let me
time.
ask you a question. Let me ask you a question. When did the San Diego Comic Con become the DMV?
Has
What's
been.
scary is I think New Jersey's DMV, which is terrible, runs San Diego Comic Con with the lines. Because I know the first day when I get out there for preview night, I'll check into my hotel. That will take me 3 minutes. It will take me at least an hour to get my pass. And figuring I always go in cosplay. This year I have to even go to weapons check. So I'm going from one line to another line before I can go in.
Weapons check. Oh my God, really?
Yes.
You can't even just peace bond it and then they see it and like, oh, you're fine. Just go.
Oh no. They have a weapons check now.
Oh
Now,
my.
you know, at San Diego Comic Con, like, they really take the web. Somebody has taken an actual sword.
Yes, actually.
Or, you know, actually taken an AK-47. See, I dipped it in red, so it's not.
Yeah, that was someone's blood.
With New York Comic Con having that sign.
Well,
Because
Kelly,
they
let me
know
tell
that.
you this. For the first Star Wars day we had here, the cops actually stopped the Mandalorian mercs outside, and
Yeah, they
Yeah.
were about to arrest him because and it wasn't just like one cop car. It was like about 12 units that converged because they got reports that people were seen, you know, in
With
riot gear.
guns
yeah.
and in riot gear. Even the cops are like, hey, those are Mandalorians. What the hell?
And they're going, wait, that's a Mandalorian. Hey, guys, they're Mandalorian mercs. No, don't worry
But
about
they
them.
still had to inspect their weapons.
They still have to look at the weapons.
Hey, I have a question for you guys because I saw the new preview, the trailer for A Million Ways to Die in the West.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Did you like the cameo in it?
Oh, Doc Brown.
Yep.
He came out at the end of that. Yeah, that was pretty cool. I like that.
I'm hoping again. We don't talk about it much because it's not a nerd movie, but you know, I have hopes for it.
A nerd movie.
Mm,
Anything
Mm,
that you know, anything that he does. I mean, I consider it part of the nerd genre. And
I disagree with you, dude. It's not a nerd movie. It's a parody movie, man.
yeah, it's
yeah.
a western, dude, and you know, it's a parody western. Even though it has Seth MacFarlane in it, it's still like a parody western. So
Yeah.
I really don't classify it as something we would cover, but it
We're
does
still
look
gonna
fun.
watch it though.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
We'll probably
Yeah, we're
like
still gonna see it. You know?
it is.
That's probably yeah.
I mean, I enjoyed Ted. I enjoyed Family Guy. I enjoy Seth MacFarlane. You know, I think he's a funny guy, and I would like to meet him. But
it's just next to impossible.
Yeah.
Because
yeah,
I
he's
know
too rich.
I've had 3 interviews and they've been canceled.
Really?
I was supposed to meet him over at New York Comic Con for the last couple of years.
Oh,
Yeah, I mean, I imagine it's tough to get a guy, especially like him, now that he's branching out into movies and you know, is the Cleveland show canceled?
I
Yeah,
don't think
I have no idea.
yeah. Because it's gone.
Yeah, because I'm seeing Cleveland back on Family Guy.
Yeah.
Turned.
Well, that show wasn't that great.
No, it wasn't.
All right, we pretty much covered everything that we could have covered. We're a little bit over. I apologize for that. And we had a great week this past week. We have a great week coming up. Not much major movies coming out this weekend, right? But we do have Godzilla next week.
Next
Yeah.
weekend, yeah.
Godzilla's
Yeah.
next week.
Oh, you know, although what I want to mention is though I'm looking forward to the season finales of Agents of Shield and the Arrow. You know, I enjoy those shows. You know.
Oh yeah. I haven't been following Arrow that much, but Shield, I'm completely enraptured with it, and I'm glad they're saying season finale
Yeah.
instead of series
Instead of
finale.
the series finale,
Yeah.
yeah.
If you didn't see the Agents of Shield, it's kind of cool because it turns out that Garrett, played by I forgot his name. You know, the
Stay-
Titanic guy.
spoiler.
Bill
Bill
Paxton?
Paxton. Yeah. But Bill Paxton was the original Deathlock. I thought that was interesting. I was like, oh,
Yeah.
hey, that's a good angle.
Yeah, I want to see how it's going to develop. And again, Samuel Jackson is going to be the guest star for
Yeah.
the episode, and and then well, what do you know about the season finale for Arrow?
It looks cool, man. Just because, if you're a DC fan, they throw you tidbits. They got the arrow, they got the canary. They officially gave her the name the canary. And in the background, I think you have figures that have a lineup, which is exactly what the season finale is going to be like. I think I saw Red Arrow, and Merlin the Magnificent, or Merlin the Assassin in this one. They're all lining up to take on Slade. I'm looking forward to it.
I
That
know.
should be cool.
I'm going to catch up on that show. I'm going to catch up on it on Hulu. I've been
That's
meaning
what
to.
I'm doing too. Waiting,
Yeah.
catch it all up on Hulu one weekend.
Yeah, it's
I'll
hard to
say
believe
this
season
much.
finales are coming up.
Yep.
This season was a lot better than the first season, but every first season always struggles with getting it going. This season was a lot better.
Sure.
Well, let me ask you something since you watch this. Can you see that Green Arrow with the DC universe?
Yeah, actually, they do a good job of combining it. I like the fact that they're barely just starting to put in the superhumans into it, and that's interesting. It's interesting seeing how a highly trained normal guy is gonna take on all these like superpowered guys. It's an interesting dynamic.
So I'm sure you're hoping for Ben Affleck to make a guest appearance.
Oh
Oh.
yeah, I can't wait for that.
It's going to be interesting next year now that they're bringing Constantine out.
Oh yeah, yeah.
I mean, superhero shows. I mean, we're branching out from the movies now.
Well, I mentioned before with
Constantine is
Constantine.
a comic book. Oh man, it was a comic book way before a movie, dude.
Yeah,
As long as they do him as they did in the comic, it should be okay. Because he's dark in the comics.
and we mentioned we're afraid of that one because that one has like the makings of a supernatural
Yeah.
ghost genre. So I mean, hopefully that comes out better.
But what's happening lately is that you're seeing, usually it's comic book to movie, and it's not as often comic book to also TV show. But
Yeah,
the TV shows.
yeah, but it makes sense, dude. I mean, if I were gonna do a show, I would do a show that had a lot of background in it. And comic books have a lot of background into it, man.
Oh yeah. You know what? I was explaining to somebody some of the background of Spider-Man. They're like, "How do you know all this?" And it's like, well, it's kind of hard not to know all that.
It's in the books, man.
It's in the books. It's in the books.
Read the comic books. They're great.
We already knew a lot of the spoilers for the biggest spoiler for that film just by going ahead and seeing images from the picture
Well,
and what someone was wearing.
well, we got to wrap things up here. This was great, guys. Again, for any nerds news, anything you want to discuss and all that, feel free to post it on our Facebook page, facebook.com/nerdsoac. Well, Kelly, now we're on Twitter, right?
We're on Twitter. Our tagline is Nerds on the Couch. And I will be tweeting from different conventions throughout the summer because I think my next one comes up, which is a PonyCon. Unfortunately, I still have to cover it. But it's actually not too bad because I'm hoping to get in to speak with the voice actresses. They have a lot of them coming out to New York, New Jersey.
I don't want to be a birdie.
Well, a lot of them have been in other cartoons too. So, like I said, I'm hoping to be able to talk with them.
Well, if you've run into Tom Kane, tell him Nerds on the Couch.
Yeah.
All right, thank you. That's our show, and catch us live every Thursday with the latest nerd news that you need to know. See ya.
See you guys.
See ya.